on the clutches, for that matter. Factory Polaris clutch is a good clutch for recreational riding, but they do wear out, and they can wear out pretty quickly. This, my RZR has 2,600 miles on it, and I noticed that these clutches were making a lot of noise right when I first bought it. And so, I knew that I was going to be redoing these clutches anyway, so I wasn't super worried about it. Upon further inspection, I did notice that the sheaves actually have some pretty nasty grooves in them from the belt rubbing, and those can't even be smoothed out. You really want these sheaves to be super, super smooth, no ridges, no lines, nothing. Anything that's in there is going to cause premature wear on the belt and make it fail quicker. It's going to create more heat and everything else. So I decided to just go ahead and replace my entire primary clutch. I got my clutches from Harvey's ATV parts. These are the mother clutchers. It's basically a factory replacement. You can take this out of the box, drop it right in your stock RZR, and it'll work great. Since I'm upgrading everything, going to larger tires and everything else, and it's going to be a race application, I'm going to go ahead and put a clutch kit on it. Now, I got a Trinity kit. The jury's out. I mean, everybody has their 2 cents on what kit to buy. The weights that come in this kit are not adjustable, and I know that's a big deal for some people. I'm not that worried about it. If I want to change the weights, I'll just get different weights, and I may get a set of adjustable weights anyway. But first thing you want to do is take this top plate off, which I've already done. You do have to have a spring compressor in order to do it. I also got that from Harvey's ATV parts. It's about 200 bucks for their master kit, I guess, and it comes with the spring compressor, the spider sockets, and all that, so you can completely service and repair and replace everything on your primary and your secondary clutch. So now this is off here. This is the factory style spring. We're going to be replacing it, like I said, with the Trinity kit. And so we have our new spring here, much thicker, heavier duty spring. It's gonna make a big difference on hooking up with power and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and drop that on. Like I said, I've already installed the weights here. They're substantially bigger, so they should help engagement a lot better. And this kit is designed to help eliminate some of the harsh and clutch engagements. So from starting, so lower end. One thing to note though, when you're taking apart your clutches, there generally is going to be X's on everything. You want to line those up, but you can always take a Sharpie and just draw a line on each part, because it's all indexed to each other. These clutches are balanced, so make sure that you install it the same way you took it apart. So let's put this one back together here. After you put these bolts back in, these are going to torque to 9 foot-pounds. So just make sure that you have a good quality torque wrench. 9 foot-pounds is tough on most clicky wrenches. Inch-pounds, it would be, what is that? 9 times 12, whatever that is. I can't think, it's too late. It's pretty late here, so yeah. Okay, so now I've got my secondary loaded up on my spring compressor. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove my Torx bolts. Now on a factory clutch, these are T25s, and they are thread lockered in. They may be too tight to remove without heat, so you may have to heat them up. But basically once they come out, this is the piece that's coming out, and this is called the helix. This sits around a spider gear, I believe is what they call this, and this sits inside of this helix. And you'll notice on some of the RZRs, So like on your factory one, it has this cutout, and that I believe is for engine braking. On all of the racing ones, they do not have this cutout, and it's just a straight shaft, and that's supposed to help eliminate engine braking, I do believe. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what we got. But inside, you're gonna have another spring, and we're gonna go ahead and replace that with our heavier duty red spring here. So let's go ahead and remove these. Now, like I said, on the factory clutch, it's a T25. On these Harvey clutches, these mother clutchers, it's actually a T20. I'm not sure why, but that's what they are. So let's see if we can get lucky. Oh, that one. It's always nerve-wracking taking Torx screws out, because they're just, those and Allen keys, man, they're just always so prone to stripping. So when you first get your clutch in here, you don't have to really tighten, like crank it down, because it's just going to relieve itself up and come up. But you do want to have this plate on there so that the spring doesn't come flying out and you ruin your stuff. So. Again, same thing. These are indexed, so you need to mark them. You're going to separate it. The mother clutchers, they have X's on them, so we know where they go. But never a bad idea to just go ahead and index with a marker. One thing I will say about this though, and I'll show you here in a minute, on the 2016s, they had a different kind of sleeve. So 2016 was a weird year for Polaris clutches because they went through some changes. So you can see how the sleeve is open on this one. On this one, it's not. It actually has a cap on it that the bolt just fits through. And it's because they come with a domed washer that mounts on here with the bolt. Well, those washers were failing and allowing these to get loose. So Polaris changed the design of the clutch, I believe mid-year, and then in 17, they all had this cap now. So if you have a 16, that'll apply. If you have a 14 or 15, your clutch is a little bit different to begin with, so that doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and take this. We'll loosen this up now. Anyway, where I was going with this clutches though, if you buy the toolkit from Harvey's, which I suggest you do, you have to get it on eBay or Amazon, but it's a fantastic kit. If you have a 16 plus, you'll have to, what I did is I went and got another piece of all thread that's the same size as the secondary bolt, because it's a little bit thinner than the primary bolt, in order to use this without taking the cap off, which the cap presses in and presses out. So I didn't want to do that. I spent $4.22. I got 3 nuts, some fender washers, and then a piece of all thread, and it works like a charm. All right, so here's our brand new Helix. You want to check on the insides of these to make sure there's no wear. You can kind of see on these ones where there's wear marks in here. This whole clutch was pretty smoked. It was definitely time for a new one. So here's our new Spider with our rollers. And our stock spring. Yucky. We don't want that. Gross. We want our new heavy duty spring. That just drops into place. We'll put our Spider back in there. We'll take our new Helix. And remember to index it. And that's really all there is to it. So I'm gonna put my spring compressor back on. I'm gonna tighten this back down, and then we'll torque these bolts back in. Okay, so we got that snugged back up. We can go ahead and take our compressor off. And we are now done with the clutch kit install. So super, super easy. If you're gonna do bigger tires, like we need for the desert, clutch kit, mucho importante. So, but I can't say enough good things about Harvey's ATV parts. I had an issue while we were trying to figure out, let me show you guys. So, this is that cap that I was talking about. So this is actually pressed in, whereas the factory one didn't have it. Sorry, I got screws sitting on it. And that one's pressed in too. So I didn't want to knock this out. I could have and then pressed it back in, but I didn't want to. I just went ahead and got a piece of all thread and just used my same compressor. The same thing, you know, the top piece works. The only thing is you've got to get some additional fender washers, but that's it. But these clutches they're fantastic. They're really well built. The nice thing is he puts these rollers in. So the factory one comes with, right there. It comes with square pucks, and they are notorious for creating a bunch of slop. So you see how much room is in that? That shouldn't be there. And it's because you can almost see it. You can see how distorted it is. See how like that piece is like almost bent? It's hard to show on video. Actually, see if I can see that scoring inside of there. That's actually like shaved metal. Like it's completely wore it in. So it's wore in like this now, instead of being straight, nice and tight. So just like these, how there's, you know, there's almost no wiggle at all back and forth. And these rollers are going to help prolong the life of this clutch. So if you're in the market for a clutch, I would go check them out. I know they cover pretty much all the razors, like the General, all of those from the 570s up. So they called me directly today to figure out this cap piece. And I was just, you know, they're an awesome bunch of people. It's family owned. They're located in Tennessee. I just can't say enough good things about them. So thank you to them for helping me out. Again, not sponsored. They're not paying me to say this. I tried to find a clutch that a working man can afford to buy. I know some clutches and clutch kits. I saw some that are 5, 6, 7,000. You know, it's crazy amounts of money. Now it's 5, 6, 7,000. $600-700 per piece. I got the full set, so I got the primary and the secondary shipped to my door in like 3 days, and it was like a total like $550. So killer deal. And like I said, you can run them factory just the way they sit. They're really well set up for stock stuff. We just need those heavier springs and weights for what we're doing. But yeah, absolute great product. It's guaranteed and backed for a year. Go check them out, please. Tell them that Austin from ARC sent you. So, yeah, so we got our clutches put together, our clutch kits on. We got our weights in, we got our springs in. We're ready to rock. So we're gonna put these back on. The nice thing about this the Trinity kit is it does come with a G-Boost belt, which is super cool. So yeah, the only thing is eventually down the road, I'm gonna replace this Helix with a Trinity Helix. For now, we're gonna run the factory one. So anyway, that's it for tonight. I gotta get to bed so I can get back to work in the morning. Again, thank you guys so much for watching these videos. Hopefully you're liking them. I can watch and kind of follow along my journey. I'm trying to not do tutorial stuff. It's kind of hard. I mean, I want to tell you guys about products and things that I think are worth looking into. Again, you know, this is a budget build. We're trying to keep it as cheap as possible. I was trying to stay in an initial $30,000 budget from nothing to racing. I think we're going to get close. There's a couple of unforeseen things I didn't plan for, so I think we're going to be somewhere around 32, 33. But I'm definitely shooting for as low as possible. I want to prove to the world and myself that anybody can buy a RZR and go desert racing, and that's what we're going to do. So hit the subscribe button, follow along of the journey. If you're interested in sponsoring us or helping us out in some way, reach out to me. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, guys, I'm doing this all on my own dollar. I'm building my own car. I'm building every aspect of it. I'm doing it all myself in my garage. I do have tools and welders and things, and I'm using pretty much basic hand tools though. This is something that really anybody can do. So get out there, live your dream. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. You can do it. The only thing that's stopping you is in your mind. And so, yeah. Any questions, leave comments down below. Consider subscribing to us. Definitely, if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. And thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.